Street Drive. I think it was right before Halloween, as I remember, from 26th Street. And the house was a couple blocks off First Avenue. And down the street was the bridge over Indian Creek. It was a little house, but it had 3 bedrooms, but they were small. Everything was small. And it fit 5 kids and 2 people and a dog. It was kind of close. But we did it. We did do it. And the kids made friends fast. They went to art school. And they had to walk across First Avenue and across that busy First Avenue to get to school. It worried me every single day. But they survived somehow or another. We managed to survive that part of it. But I was working at Collins on the 2nd shift. And Tom was out of work for a while. And he went out in the summertime and picked apples and casamores. He loved that. But I think that's when he started working at Roosevelt School and thought he would get his teaching degree, Iowa teaching degree. So he went to school he taught at Roosevelt, a middle school. He was the study hall teacher and playground director and all that other stuff. And he had good intentions of getting a teaching certificate and becoming a teacher, and he went to night school to take courses that he needed. And then he went that way for a year, and then he couldn't go any farther, and he quit. He never went ahead and got his teaching certificate. He would have been a good teacher, but at that time they really didn't need any more teachers. Okay, so I went on days. Rockwell took over, emerged with one, and I had to go on days for 3 years. 3 years. Oh, that was awful. Yeah, kids were running all over the neighborhood, I'm sure. And a lot of friends. Jamie had a lot of friends. Mike Martin and Weldon boys, and heaven knows they were so adventurous. And they had good times too. And Cindy and Julie, they had friends too. Were you friends with Kevin? That was about it, wasn't it?
And Chris too.
Yeah, and I don't know how long we lived there, but we rented from Choate's. Roy Choate owned the plant Choate, which is that plant on First Avenue, 3 from us, the plant Choate. And he owned this house and rented it out to his employees when, during the war, they hired people and they had houses for them there. And one day, 4th of July, we were having lunch, and Mike Martin knocked on the door and said, Mr. Meis, your house is on fire. And we didn't know, but Tommy had thrown a sparkler up on the roof, and it was wooden roof in those days. And the house was on fire, the roof was on fire. Well, they came, the firemen put it out, made a big hole in the ceiling. And then the ceiling fell in the bedroom when I was laying on the bed. That was pretty traumatic, I tell you. Somebody slammed the door and the ceiling just fell. Anyway, we survived that. Steve came home from the Air Force 30-day leave. He was there 30 days. And then went back and left his dog, Ralph. A big dog. What was it, a collie?
German Shepherd.
German Shepherd. I love that guy. And I think we lived there about 5 years. And Schultz decided he wanted to sell the house, so we had to find something else. And Tom found a house in his dad's neighborhood where he used to have his grocery store on 16th Street at 6th Avenue. It was a nice house, big 3-bedroom house, old, And we moved in on a real cold December day. It was just bitter cold. It was right before Christmas. I think it was December 11th, and it was right before Christmas. But we survived somehow or another, and we made do. I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything else about 30th Street Drive. Can you? Anything?
Now I remember the one time it downpoured.
Oh, I know.
It flooded.
Jamie was delivering paper. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie had a Gazette route. He wasn't happy with just one. He had two.
Oh.
And on Sunday morning we were having torrential rain, and they had dumped his newspapers, bundled out in front of the house, and they washed down into the creek. The rain was so hard, and it just washed him right down in. But he did pretty good, except I had to help him. And Sunday delivery, and then the afternoon, because that was in the afternoon, so I helped him after I got off work. But my buddy at work, Don McBain, he was the head illustrator. He was in charge of the illustrators. Lived right across the bridge, Indian Creek Bridge, on the other side of the row house, and it washed the bridge out. I mean, you couldn't use the bridge after that rain. Flooding destroyed it, so they couldn't use it anymore. So they had to go around, which wasn't too far away, maybe a couple blocks out of the way. But yeah, that was the end of that. But Jamie and one thing I remember, I'll never forget. He used to gather in the hills above the Indian Creek, and they said they were horsemen. These caves there, where they used to hide. You know, I mean, they used to live up there, but these, and that's true because they said that later in the paper when they were talking about it at Marion, that they existed. Yeah, but his friends would gather at Mount Calvary Cemetery and tell ghost stories, and then he'd come home scared to death. Bless his heart. But they had a lot of fun. Had a lot of friends.
Do you remember that time he got bit by the squirrel?
Huh?
Remember when he got bit by the squirrel?
Oh my God, yeah. It was on a Saturday, and I got a call, come pick him up. And what had happened was he and a couple of his friends had seen a squirrel kind of staggering on the sidewalk on First Avenue there by St. Matthew's area. And they stopped at somebody's house and asked if they had a cage, and they did. I'm surprised. But they put the squirrel in the cage, and it somehow or another got through the bars and bit Jamie on the leg. And so they called me, and I had to go down to the hospital. And they were going to start rabies shots if the squirrel had rabies. They were going to, and that would have been painful for him. But they decided they had to kill the squirrel to do it, but they found out he didn't have rabies. Yeah, he had stitches, and he still, I bet he has a scar to this day, but he's trying to be good, you know. He said it looks like the poor squirrel had been hit by a car. It was kind of staggering around, and yeah. And he was always doing something like that. One night he brought home a box that looked like a big toilet paper box, big toilet paper bundles came in. And he called me to the front, and he said, I want you to see it. I looked down at this big box, and in the corner was this little ball of black fur. It was a little skunk. And he said, I'm going to take that in Arthur's school to the biology teacher and have him de-skunk him tomorrow. De-sand him. So we put him in the garage, and our garage had a dirt floor. And we got up the next day, and this skunk had dug through the box, and he dug his way out under the garage. It was dirt, you know, so he didn't have to worry. I kind of worried about that. I thought, well, maybe he wanted it for a pet, but I didn't know about that.
How about the time that Tom fell in the Indian
Oh,
Creek?
yeah. Yeah, well, he's always after his dad to take him down fishing, and one Saturday afternoon, they walked down, it was only like a block and a half, wasn't very far. And I looked out, about an hour later, I looked out, and I saw Tom coming, and I saw Tommy coming. He was all covered with mud, just like a robot. And I said, what happened? He fell in. Tommy fell in, and it was shallow. And Tom said, I told him to get up, but he didn't move. So that was the story. It was funny. It was dried, you know, and he was, that was the only time he ever took him, I think, down there.
Sounds like him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, do you remember the Goodalls? The Goodalls?
Good old, yeah.
Remember, they lent us a tire for our tetherball, and they thought it was okay to come over and use it whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
It's probably neighborhood drama.
Well, there was there was a mother that came over. I got off at 4 and I came home, and you know, had to get supper. And the mom would come over. Her husband worked nights, and she'd sit at my table on my dining. Remember the little dining room we had? She'd bring a quart of beer and sit and drink it. And here I was trying to get my kids supper, and they go,